Greetings and salutations. This is Unthoth Neverborn, the abyss that slumbers, and you are listening to Eldritch Rants. I'm going to be doing this one solo today because, well, the weekend's just been bad for people in general. However, I did manage to get on Mad Dodge's Red Eye stream. I highly recommend you go over there. Much more better political discussion. On this particular rant, I'm going to be dealing with Star Trek Discovery, or STD. God almighty. If the sound quality or anything about this isn't up to usual par, there's a lot of background hum or anything, I don't care, because this show does not deserve any degree of skill or talent in its review because they didn't put anything into the show. We're going on to episode 6. I don't even care what it's titled. Starts off with the usual recap of everything, assuming that people who are watching this show are completely brain-dead morons, incapable of remembering what happened in the last bunch of episodes. After that, ADD, attention deficit, jump around start, we then moved on to actual plot, where we get to see Sarek getting into a ship. I don't know. The first thing I thought of was, wow, they're ripping off like Star Trek, the Clone Wars, that planet where all the people are on it and there's a whole city as a world thing. And I'm just like, why do they have such impractical spaceship landing pads? I don't know. But where do we go? Where do we go from this? Well, Sarek, Vulcan gets on Vulcan ship. Doesn't look like any other Vulcan design I've ever seen. And Dudley Do-Right, the Vulcan assistant, gets on. It looks like, I don't know. And they go flying off. Why are we going here? Well, you don't need to know, because ignorance can be beneficial. Why? Why do you, what? They're on the ship. You're going somewhere. Giving him information he doesn't need to know at this point. What's the point? Okay. Moving on, we move on to Tilly and Michael running around the ship doing laps because Tilly's going to be a captain someday. They're both wearing shirts that say disco on it. That's a recurring theme I'm going to bring up later. And Tilly at one point goes, I'm going to be a captain because I have a wonderful personality, and then immediately turns around to accidentally insult Michael. Funny. Okay, but personality building, whatever. It's not that offensive. Then about 4 minutes in, we find out that the Discovery has a holodeck. Why the hell does it have a holodeck? Why does it have a holodeck? Somebody tell me how it has a holodeck, much less why. But okay, they got a holodeck for combat simulations or something. All right, I got it. Okay, whatever. So the captain and his new future chief of security, who everybody is pretty sure is actually Volg, the Klingon albino, whatever his name is, in disguise. Fine. And the new chief of security lies and says, I only shot 22 when you shot 26. I'm a worse shot than you. It turns out he shot 36. He lied in order to suck up to his boss. Okay, whatever. Then we go on back to Sarek flying through space. And for some reason, the kid who's with him has got some sort of weird injection that when you inject it into your skin, makes your entire body start glowing and you explode. Why? How? All right, and then he gives this speech about how, you're trying to integrate us with other species, and that's dangerous, so we're going to stop you. It's completely illogical. They're going off to meet the Klingons, apparently, to try and negotiate peace. And for some reason, this kid's going to blow himself up in order to stop Sarek, and Sarek, creates a force field between him and the kid to defend himself. How they have force fields on the inside of the ship. Again, we've established it in this series that that's possible, but they shouldn't have that technology yet. Moving on. We go back to Michael and Tilly, and if Tilly wanted to pick somebody to bully her into becoming a captain, she picked the right choice. What's bothering me here is that when they order food, the ship's computer like gives some sort of nutrition lesson, like the beans and green tea consortium came together and wanted product placement in the future, so that whenever you order food, it like goes, that's an excellent source of antioxidants. I didn't ask for your freaking opinion, computer. I just want my goddamn green tea. Who gives a shit? Unless, of course, that's aimed at the audience to try and get the audience to like become vegans and drink green tea. Fuck you, STD. Fuck you. Oh my God. So then they drool over the new guy who's the chief of security, and they go over there. And this is something I hate to nitpick, but when Tyler shakes Tilly's hand, I can see the fat on her arm jiggling. And it's for some reason in this episode, it's like nobody has makeup. Everybody is pretty ugly. Okay, in HD, you could see every pore. All right, there's a reason for makeup. They're trying to make these people ugly. That's the only excuse I have. Then suddenly Michael is like shaking Tyler's hand or whatever his name is, and has some sort of mind meld seizure, and she can do that mind meld over several light years again, and she drops into one of Sarek's like memories, and for some reason Sarek gets angry and like punches her so hard she leaves the universe and then wakes up back in her body. Now, why is a Klingon getting pissed off? Why is Sarek getting angry at all? I know it's inside his own head, but he shouldn't be getting angry at all. I just So Michael wakes up. She's in the emergency ICU, whatever. She's in pain. Okay, I got it. And, well, I just got to say boring exposition is boring. That's pretty much all I got to say. Hold on a sec here. How can she mind meld? Voice of One, I got no clue. It's some leftover chunk of Sarek's soul in her body or some shit. By the way, this is something from the exposition. Apparently, originally I thought, oh wow, the Klingons attacked, this child when she was in her like school. No, that's not the case. Vulcans decided to blow up the entire Vulcan children education building just to kill Michael, our protagonist. That's right. Racist Vulcans tried to kill this black child, woman, human by blowing up a school. Holy, what? Come on. If you're a logical Vulcan, you just get a gun, wait until she walks out the front door, go, hello kid, shoot her in the head and then shoot yourself if you want to avoid prosecution. I mean, blowing up a school. How many other Vulcans were killed just to get this one human? I just want to bash my brain in, but I had to stop this show about 12 times just to stomach through it. Okay. All right. So they report to Starfleet, and Vulcan goes, hey, he's trapped in some nebula somewhere. And Captain Lucius Malfoy says, I'm going to go and rescue him. No, I'll clean up your mess. And okay, fine, whatever. Flies off to this nebula. I got to say, I'm liking the captain a little bit. I mean, the actor's great. I'll give him that. But then we come back to our main engineer who's like, oh, groovy, man. And he's like, one with the cosmos. And he uses that word, groovy. And I'm sitting there going, what is it with all the 70s references? Unless, of course, they're trying to, like, I don't know, say that, like, the original Star Trek series was from the 70s, so there should be 70s references. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I agree with you. It's like there's Islamic Vulcans now. The Vulcans apparently are racists. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Just shoot me frickin' now. It makes no frickin' sense. Okay, but all right. So we're going to have to send a shuttle into the nebula, because guess what happens if nebula gases mix with the spores? They'll explode. Okay, well, you can't keep the nebula gases outside of the ship. Somehow they're going to leak in. Does your ship leak spores? And if they explode when contact with spores, and these spores are throughout the entire freaking galaxy like freaking roots, if there are like cosmic spore things everywhere, shouldn't that, nebula have already freaking exploded? Okay, but it's just an excuse to put her on a shuttle so that there's more tension. And there's no tension. Nobody believes for a moment she's going to die. They fly out there. They build this super mind meld enhancement bullshit thing. God help me. All right, they puts it on. There's like needless, stupid drama. And we finally find out, hey, Sark's regretting some repressed shit. Okay, great. So we find out Sarek picks Spock over Michael to join the Vulcan Academy. But then Spock turned down the Vulcan Academy, so Sarek feels guilty. That's it. That's it. That's the whole drama. That's it. Sarek made the logical choice at the moment, which is, it's more likely that my half Vulcan child will be accepted than this human. So I'm going to go with the half Vulcan, since that's a better chance of success. Oh, in hindsight, it turned out to have been the wrong choice. And now I'm going to feel guilty about it and have uncontrollable emotions on my deathbed. Okay. And what is it with the show writers about fire? There's freaking fire everywhere. On Vulcan, there's open fire everywhere. There's bowls of fire, and then the Klingons have torches and fires. I'm surprised they don't just have people walking around with freaking tiki torches. Okay, sorry. Okay. I'm calm. All right, so there's the massive strain on Michael, blah, blah, blah. She wakes up. Sarek presses this button and they rescue him. Great. So we go back to Captain Lucius Malfoy and the Admiral. By the way, I forgot to mention, the Admiral showed up a while ago to bitch at him, and Captain Lucius Malfoy gets the Admiral in bed and bangs her, and then the Admiral notices he's got weird scars on his back and touches them, and he freaks out and grabs a phaser and puts it in her face and says, I'm sorry. It's been a long time since anybody's been in my bed. I get kind of paranoid, what with having been tortured by Klingons and all sorts of shit. And the Admiral goes, oh my God, you keep a gun in your bed and you almost shot me. I'm going to have you relieved from duty. All right. Got it. So we move to the sick bay, and there's Sarek, and he's in bed. And you go, oh, Sarek's too sick to finish this envoy of peace to the Klingons to try and negotiate it. And so what does Captain Malfoy do? He says, oh, let's send the Admiral. She'll be able to negotiate with them. And the Admiral goes, okay, I'm going to go do that. And she gets in the ship and flies off to go meet the Vulcans. I mean, they telegraphed that this was a betrayal 18 minutes before the show was over. We get into some more character development for Michael, the main character, who nobody gives a crap about. And she has some sort of, hey, I have feelings moment. Which I'm kind of sit there and I'm trying to listen. I'm going, wait a minute. Are you just talking like a feminist here? Where I have all these feelings and emotions. I'm conflicted about stuff. What's going on with me? And I just want to say you're just a typical crazy bitch. I mean, I don't want to be too cynical, but I'm really, really pissed off at this point. And then finally... Finally, we get another nutrition lesson from the computer, just to mention. And then we find out that, yes, indeed, it was a trap. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The neutral planet has been captured by the Klingons, and the envoys have been shot in the back of the head. And, oh, no, they've captured an admiral and the core, the leader of the Klingon United, whatever the fuck they are. They're like, you know, they're so glad they've captured an admiral. Ha ha ha. And so Saru goes up to Captain Malfoy and says, your girlfriend and the admiral has been captured. Are we going to contact Starfleet and get orders? Saru goes, sir? Contact Starfleet and get orders. Well, usually we just ignore Starfleet and do whatever the hell we want to do, Captain. What the hell's going on? You know, we can't, this might be a trap for Discovery. We can't take Discovery into a trap, so we don't do anything without orders because it's time we started following by the book. Of course it is. He just wanted his girlfriend out of the way because his girlfriend was going to relieve him from command and was going to lose his ship. And oh no, the captain's evil and malevolent, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's not that evil and malevolent. I mean, he probably suspected it was a setup and that's why he had her sent. But unless he actively called, you know, the Klingons and said, by the way, Admiral on the way, it's not really a betrayal. I mean, they're trying to make it sound like he's this evil, manipulative bastard, but all things said and done, he's just, I mean, I don't know if necessarily his choices were a bad one or they're deliberately set up and they're doing a lousy, yeah, I'm going to have to go with your voice in one. Having watched this, I'm really believing that they brought in a bunch of writers. They all sat down. They all made their own episodes without talking to each other. That's just what I'm assuming. Although I was wrong, this wasn't a Mirror Universe episode, and they did not trot out the Tribble. I'm assuming the Tribble is going to show up in another episode or two, and that's when we're going to find out that Lieutenant Tyler, or whatever his name is actually a Klingon spy. At any rate, the only thing I want to talk about is the previews for next week's episode, which is apparently Groundhog Day. They get trapped in a 30-minute time loop, and big, huge, multi-tentacle alien horror shows up, and there's lots of running around and shooting, and I just don't give a fuck. Although, if we get to learn more about the new 1970s groovy, sporified, blonde-haired, gay engineer dude, I don't know, maybe that'll be vaguely interesting, because I'm kind of interested in him. And once again, I just want to go over, I did talk about it on Mad Dodge's stream, but I want to say here, Star Trek Discovery totally plagiarized that guy who made his point-and-click adventure back in 2014, and they're all scumbags. That's pretty much all I wanted to go over on my rant tonight. Hopefully next week I'm going to bring in a bunch of people who all hate Trek. And if anybody is out there, that's the important point. If you hate Star Trek Discovery, or hell, if you love the show, next Saturday, I'm hoping to bring on a couple of diehard people who absolutely hate this show, and I want to get them all together, and we're going to have a proper roundtable discussion of just how bad the show is up until this point, okay? That'll be next Saturday around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if I find my way, or eventually, because, you know, scheduling and reasons. I'm Unthoth Neverborn, the abyss that slumbers. You have been listening to Eldritch Rants. It's been real and it's been fun, but I'm not sure if it's been real fun. I hope everybody out there has a pleasant evening, and never, ever watch Star Trek Discovery unless you're finding a motivation to kill yourself. Thanks for your time and have a pleasant evening.